Gloria, you're a young lady, but you're not a young lady, right?
I'm 아줌마 now, yes. If that's what you mean.
She doesn't look like it, but she's actually our age.
Yeah, I thought you were like 22 when I first met you.
24. We said 24. You don't have to lie.
Yeah, why you lie like
Why
that?
lie,
I have that memory.
22 is right out of college.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It wouldn't make sense. She
Yeah,
graduated middle school.
Very logical thinking. I thought you were much younger than what you actually are. Are you comfortable telling how old you are?
I'm 30.
Okay. Yeah, you're not like a young girl, right? So
No.
you have more experience in life. Do you feel like you still have questions?
I think some
Man.
things definitely, yeah.
I see. But you definitely now at this age, it's like more confident and more sure.
Is there anything that you haven't figured out yet?
A lot of things.
Really?
Like what?
Women in 30s, I think, typically want something that's more stable, and they want to settle down, and they want to find a life partner they can do life with. And there's a lot of things that we look for that we didn't know when we were young in our 20s. You know, if a guy's good looking or if the guy has charm, it's like it's good enough. But then in your 20s, you may be thinking like, oh, like, will he like me? But in your 30s, it's more like, do I like him? I think there's a lot of the questions.
You said the same thing.
No, I didn't.
You said the same thing before. You don't even realize it.
I said, is she hot? Is she hot or is she not?
Flashback.
So I feel like in my 20s, only thing I care about like was her worth in terms of looks, personality, whatever. What I care most about now is how she values me, my time, my efforts, because I no longer have this frame up that I need to necessarily chase after the most beautiful girl, because that's not my priority anymore.
All right, that's the first question. But then you actually said in a long-term relationship, instead of always trying to please, you start looking for what kind of value you can receive as well.
Yeah.
And I know you guys have covered this a couple times, but maybe I can throw a different spin. What would make you commit in a relationship? Like what? Not when, but what?
What? Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's a deep one.
First question.
Yeah.
Like, is it just age and timing?
So I think the number one is actually where you are in terms of timing. And then from there, I think it's the compatibility, long-term future prospects. But even that's kind of hard to figure out. How early can you figure that out? And should you be that confident about the possibility?
People used to ask me like, or people would tell me like, oh, you know she's the one, if she's the right one. But I don't think that's true. It's like,
You don't
People
actually
don't
know.
change overnight in terms of commitment.
yeah. It's more like, are you ready? Ideally speaking, so you want to be like a love at first sight, meaning like the first interaction, you're like, oh, everything just clicks, like
Something special.
Yeah, there's a chemistry.
Right,
she has a background, and a personality, and then it was like a special moment. But
Did you feel that with your ex?
I don't think I felt that with anybody that I met. Like no one that I've met.
Not even with your bro?
It's going weird.
Actually,
What's going on?
I'll be the guest.
Are we talking about love at first sight?
yeah, we're talking about like the
Maybe
right
not
person,
love.
right?
Maybe not love at first sight. Most sounds like.
Because like, you know, when you first meet, you're either attracted to the person or you're
Right,
not.
right.
So I wouldn't call that love. I think you call it fascinating or attraction.
Infatuation.
Yeah.
But first impressions are, I feel like, often short-lived.
And it can be inaccurate, but I think
Yeah.
it's still more accurate than someone that you didn't feel an attraction to. I mean,
that's
it's
true.
more exciting than meeting someone you were like, okay, cool.
That's true. That's true.
But so then my question to you is, if you didn't have that,
Yeah.
then at what point do you feel that way?
I think it comes with just like developing relationship with that person over time.
And then at what point are you, and this is going back to Gloria's question, fully committed?
So I think this is like a part where it's like it's not logical. It's more like emotional. It's like you did a lot of life together because like you're a lot of sentimental values attached to like the memories that you built together.
So it's more based on your past and not what the prospect of the future can bring?
No, because I think, to be honest, you can find a lot of quote-unquote qualified people that meet your criteria that you could start a life together with. But it's like the past and then the things that you've done together that glues you together.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine another bro comes in to replace me,
Okay.
but you wouldn't have the same experience.
I'm not discrediting your perspective. That's your experience.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, when they go into a relationship, yes, they have a foundation that they rely on, but they're excited about the future. So doesn't that possibility excite more than the grounding that you had from the past?
But I feel like you know what you're gonna get. It's not like you're gonna be excited about like
Really?
something new that's gonna happen.
Wait, really? Because some people date relatively early, off of very I don't want to call it a weak, an early foundation.
Yeah.
My friend who ended up getting married to a girl that he did long distance with met the girl twice in Korea,
Wow.
and
Only?
then they had some sort of chemistry. Yeah, only twice. And then they're like, oh my god, I can see future with this partner.
Yeah.
And that's what led them to like drag that hard.
I see.
Again, that's their experience, but I just
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like, what do you think? Is it more common for people to look at the future or the past? Or
So I think there's truth in both, right? Because like you can't just. I'm laughing at your previous video about projectile vomit. I don't know when that's coming back.
And you don't have a projectile in life.
trajectory.
You don't have a trajectory in life.
Projectile vomit.
But you know, you can't just base your whole trajectory with somebody based on your past.
Yeah.
But I think there's some sort of saying where this is where I think values and vices kind of come in play. So if there's these like absolute no's that you just don't want to deal with for the rest of your life, that's gonna play into your future, right? Then you kind of prevent yourself of future heartache by dealing with the same thing, that like, pet peeve or something that's just bothering you for the rest of your life. You can predict that. And I think you can't, like undo the whole possibility of change. I think there's a lot of saying that change doesn't happen or it's just impossible.
Yeah.
But I actually think that change is a constant. As people, we grow and evolve, and who I was in my 20s is no longer the same.
Yeah.
And therefore, so will that the other person.
True.
So is it someone that you want to grow together with? And is that kind of like that pace kind of going in similar lines, So I think like that's where it comes down to, yes,
Yeah.
Chong matters, right?
Yeah,
Because you're-
Chong, it's I
like-
think for me it's huge.
I mean, that's kind of like, old couples.
Can you explain what Chung is for our viewers?
How do I put this? Like a sentiment, like a longing.
Sentimental attachment that
Attachment.
you build.
Oh, you said it so beautifully. Yeah. And then you just so attach that person, and it's beyond just physical attraction.
Yeah, it's beyond logic. It's like it just built through over time being together.
Yeah. And like if that grows, sometimes maybe you feel like you're gonna fight every day, but you feel like you can
can
deal
still
with
love
that for the
them.
rest of your life.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the Notebook is about? Very different people,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
just
yeah.
love each other.
Yeah. You can always find someone, but that you cannot have the same kind of charm. It will
that
be something
moment.
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what keeps people committed together.
And that's what makes the breakups hard too.
Yeah. But I do get from your point. It's like if you were to date someone seriously, again, you're gonna be excited about the future. Wow, that was very deep.
First question. Yeah. First question. I think the last time it was like tits or ass.
Different spin to it. So I usually actually advise my girlfriends, the first 6 months. It's kind of sad because, I mean, it's realistic, but it's kind of sad because when, in your 20s, you meet somebody, you're like very giddy and you tell your girlfriends like everything, like how you met, how he asked you out, or what kind of like dates went on. But as you kind of get into your 30s, you don't really ask that kind of question. It's kind of like, okay, the honeymoon phase definitely exists, but like, okay, what comes after that?
I see. So you guys talk about, is he a keeper or is he not?
Yeah, because like I invested in myself. Therefore, is the guy also worth my investment with our
Oh.
future together?
I
I
see.
think that's very important.
I see.
Makes sense. That's
But
a mature thought.
okay, so how do you actually know that?
You first gotta know what you like.
And you think that comes? I guess it was different.
Just life experience.
You can, have like passive experience through your girlfriends or your guy friends. And just kind of listen to what they went through
Yeah.
and figure out what works for you, what doesn't. You can see from your, friends' heartaches, right?
Right.
You say like, okay, I don't think I want to do that.
True.
But then sometimes you also see really good relationships that are really amazing examples. You're like, when I think of marriage, I think of something like that. And then you kind of figure out what you like and what you don't like. And I think there are some vices that what do you call those? Like deal breakers. But I think deal breakers kind of sound light because it's more like initial dating. But I think women in the 30s, we think more of like, okay, not like deal breakers, but what are some like absolute no's?
I
Like,
see.
that you don't want that. Because like, in a relationship, there's gonna be like a common theme. So is that common theme gonna be okay for you to handle for the rest of your life? Or is it something that you really can't do it and you gotta let go?
But I feel like some people are able to overlook the flaws if the other party like genuinely really likes and loves the girl.
Right. Having too much love is not a deal breaker.
No, but he has a lot of flaws that are deal breakers. But his like love and affection towards you, I feel like sometimes it can overcome those quote unquote deal breaker flaws.
Right. I think the realistic / sad part of being like dating in your 30s is that you can't help but feel a little calculating because you really have to kind of weigh your pros and cons.
I see.
And in some ways, I think it's like adult, but at the same time, it's kind of sad because I never wanted to.
Wait, what'd you say?
Adult, like adult.
Why is it called adult?
What's adult?
Like, meaning like you own up to the mature choices in life.
Oh, is that a word? Adult?
No, I just pronounce adult as an adult. You never had that before?
No.
Oh.
I thought
Here's
of,
a new word for
like,
you today.
I know,
You can edit it out too if you want.
Adult Hitler.
That's not what I meant. Why does he come up in this conversation? So let's maybe play it up a little bit. Did you guys ever have like dating app questions?
Not really.
Okay, great. So first question first. Have you guys ever downloaded a dating app?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what's dating apps?